Hello! Greetings and blessings to all of you. This, whatever season this is, cold weather outside, no sunshine. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. I greet you with love and honor and the respect that you deserve. I also ask you to accept and receive all the blessings and the knowledge from Creator. It's always there. With that said, let's get on to this wonderful topic. Yes, I am your host, Crazy David Null, and also known as Hawkeye Two Feathers. Now, I bring this little bit of witticism, if you will, buy now, die later. Now, I'm 66 years old, been through a few Christmases, and I've I've watched this mess. I remember my grandfather buying me a Lionel train set. The thing just was an oval. And man, watching my grandfather, I mean, I still remember that man and how much fun he had playing with that train set with me. Now, there are things about Christmas. Now, I used Xmas in the box down there in the title of this thing. And I did that on purpose because the X means dollars. It's not really Christmas. The idea of a Christ mass, or you know, there's a lot of evidence that says Christ was actually born at Easter time. Go figure. But there's some interesting things about that. Why do we, if on a religious basis, if somebody made it up and said, "Hey, let's pick the coldest time of the year to do this festival." All right. Okay. Why? Because it's colder than snot outside. People are hunkered down, and the only thing they want to do is stay warm and keep enough in their belly to keep from starving to death over the winter time. So a lot of times folks would have things and, to their neighbors and stuff, it was just a time to get together inside because there wasn't no bugs. They might have been freezing to death, but bodily warmth helped keep them warm in the wintertime. So there's a lot of reasons for these winter festivals having nothing to do with spending money but folks exchanged gifts during these times because it was a time when they could sit down and actually do something. They couldn't work out in the field. Maybe they go check their traps. They bring in firewood, or maybe they cut some, whatever. But wintertime is for just hunkering down. So they had time to make things for their friends and their family. And it just so happened, they picked a day. Well, all right. The tradition still goes on. People give things to each other all the time. In my past, I've made things and just said, "Here, have this, if you'd like it, that is." And okie dokie, you just surprise people with a gift. And that's the wonderful part of being alive. You can surprise people with things. Hopefully they're good things. But so with buy now, die later. I usually try to stay off of some of these kind of subjects, but part of me is just like, this is part of the crap, the cray cray, as they say. And I noticed back at Halloween, which was in October, a month ago, almost, is that they already had Christmas stuff out. They had Christmas stuff out in September. And I'm thinking to myself, is this a ploy to trap our eyes into this? So everywhere, of course, this is Cyber Monday and all this other kind of stuff. Well, okie doke. And if the businesses choose to use a particular day of the year to say, "Hey, we're going to sell the crap out of stuff. Come on in." Okay, that's their right. To tie it in with Christmas and whether or not, this has anything to do with religion, people are buying their butts off. I mean, I've seen folks, we went out Christmas shopping. And well, did you go out and Christmas feed anybody? There are some folks who spent money over this last weekend. And I say probably money they don't have. And if they do have the money and they're buying more stuff, part of the game, part of the gambit. Now, I'm all for a traditional Christmas. There is something about a tree in the house. I don't like cutting them down anymore, but I, have brought planted trees into the house and for Christmas, and then taken them back out and planted them in my yard. I've started an entire forest of these types of trees now. In fact, there's so many of them. I may have to cut some of them down simply because they're growing so close together, and I've gotten too old and they've gotten too big, and I can't dig them up. And it's like, well, dang, and they're in the wrong place. They're in parts of my garden, and they're just in the wrong place. So, but to the point though, there's something about that. There's something about holly because of only, it's a winter type thing. Mistletoe, I don't know where that came from, but hey, whatever, to steal a kiss from somebody or have an excuse. And that's part of the reason for this. People have access to most of the things that are being sold during Christmas time. Now, during Christmas time, I gotta say, there are things that just come on the shelves that, like, why don't they have this all year round? I don't know, because it's got a Christmas label on it and they want to try to sell it for whatever reason, money. And so I question this and say, well, you know what? Let's be straight about this. If you want to talk about Christmas, then talk about Christmas and it being, whether you believe the manger story or not, it's a beautiful time. And it's a time for folks to feel spiritual. It's also cold as hell outside and a good excuse to go do some of these things, and a good excuse to make eggnog, and a good excuse to pour a little whiskey in the eggnog. A lot of folks during Christmas time, ooh, eggnog, ooh. Now, Granny made the best, but to the point about that, though, all of the old folk, my age now, were, slipping a little whiskey in there. They're having themselves a little hot toddy. So is that an excuse during Christmas time? For my aunt who usually doesn't drink, but will use a bottle of rum to make rum balls and, put them up for a month so they ferment real well. So when you open up the lid to the thing, the whole kitchen smells of rum balls. And it's like, I can't quit eating these things, Isn't it an excuse for indulgence or overindulgence or just indulging at all? And hey, Melanie, how are you? See somebody jump up there. Blessings to you. Now, I say we all have a choice in this matter. If I choose to go into town and do Christmas shopping, that's my right. But I'm thinking to myself, why are you people buying some of this stuff? Do you actually use it during the year? And I say this because I've bought dumb shit for Christmas for myself, for other people. And it's like, what? Some of the things that I gave for Christmas were things that I made, things that were handcrafted. And then when my grandmother died, was handed back down to me, oddly enough. There's a pair of guitars I bought over there made out of wood, and just they're planters for the wall kind of thing. Granny loved them. When she passed away, everybody said, Dave, you bought these to Grandma, and Grandma loved them. Of all the things she kept on the wall, she kept those guitars and those planters because they came from you. And I was like, you see, now they still hang on my wall all these years after Grandma's died in tribute to her, And it's like, does anybody care? Well, maybe I'll give them away to someone else, or maybe nobody wants them. The point is that it was given out of love, not out of some excuse, because Granny loved plants and things, and she would stick little dried flower arrangements in them, and they were really nice, and they looked good on the wall. And so, but to buy these things, and I hate to say it, some of my relatives are posting all this stuff on Facebook about how much money they've already spent for Christmas. And I'm just thinking, you bought a bunch of clothes and things that you already got a scad of stuff in your closet. Did you give any of that away for Christmas? I mean, have you thought about January or February? No. Oh, cut Credit cards got some juice on it here. Come on, girls, let's go shopping. And it's like, okay. So it's gotten to the point now, it's one thing to, quote, get in the Christmas spirit. It's another thing to use Christmas as an excuse to overindulge. Oh, come on, Hawkeye. You don't mean, yeah, I do mean. When they start trying to sell Christmas stuff in September, I'm like, gang, and everybody's on board with this. Oh, I gotta go. I gotta have. I gotta. And it's like, you're right. You're privileged to do so. But are you literally being brainwashed into thinking that you gotta do this? Now, I'm all for I still love, there's some beautiful Christmas music. This time of the year when it's cold outside and the sleigh bells are ringing. Sorry, there's something about it. Doesn't sound right in the middle of summertime, but when in the middle of December, it just fits the scene. And so, okay, let's sing carols. Let's go visit people. Let's bring people good cheer. Well, we ought to do that every day of the year. That's my philosophy. But other people are like, I'm not going to mention any. I never mention any names usually, but it's like I'm embarrassed. It's like you bought what? Well, yeah, we got you what? Did you really? Okay. Oh, looky what we got. Ooh, and this and that's on sale, and I'm like, oh God, I'm praying for your soul. And you're putting pictures of how many items you purchased in one day, the amount of resources, in my opinion, folks are wasting when they already have enough. That's my bitch about some of this. These folks that I know who are pasting all these things already have enough stuff. I'm a poor old bugger and I got enough stuff. Why don't you now if they have, I can't get flannel shirts in July, so this is the time for me to stock up on flannel shirts, especially when they come on sale. But, it's like, okay, there's a reason for that. Baby, it's cold outside, you know. But I'm looking at stuff and it's like, and it's almost like people are going overboard this year. Now, I have kind of stated this every year, but for some reason, people think we got a tax cut, things are going decent. Most folks I know that want a job have found a job and are as stable as they possibly can be under the circumstances. But to the same point, if they got a little bit of credit, they're going to max it out. And I mean, that's what I'm seeing. That's what they tell me. And it's like, what? Oh, yeah, I got a couple $100 on this credit card. I'll pay it off next year. I've got they're giving me 60 days before they start charging me interest. Okie dokie. Oh, yeah, but look. Oh, and my cell phone app just told me, ooh, such and such has got a deal on a blah, blah. I go back to this simple question. Do you need it? Well, I'm buying it because do you need it? I'll be honest. It's what you want. Don't lie to me. Come on, fake it out. Oh, but it's Christmas. No, that's your excuse. Every day should be Christmas. Every day should be a holiday in the sense that we should always give, be willing to give, and just be good people. If you need to buy a damn pair of shoes, ooh, it's Christmas time, an excuse to buy another pair of shoes. Ooh, it's Christmas time, it's an excuse to buy another shotgun or a rifle or whatever, or archery. Now, I got to say, I like archery myself, and it's been a pastime. This is the time of year to go out. And no, I don't like shooting animals or anything, but I do love target practice. It's good for my arms. It gives eye-hand coordination, a lot of stuff to it. And it's my form of staying in shape, outdoor activity, and it doesn't kill anything, but I could if I needed to. Now, that's the backup of that. But to the point, though, I'm not out there target practicing to try to kill something. But if a target came at me, I could defend myself. That's the only point in that. But It's an excuse. The whole holiday, and I use Xmas because I don't mean Christmas. The Christmas tradition of bows and mama, I made this, or grandma, grandpa, they saved up their pennies for this. And it's like, that's wonderful because during this time of the year, it's cold and people get together. Okie dokie. Now, whether it's fake or not fake, in my generation of seeing Christmas in the 50s, now, most of y'all don't understand that, but there it was a reverence about it. And then it turned commercial. And I was in the middle of it. I witnessed the commercialization even in my own family. But we still had certain traditions. And it's like, there's nothing wrong with a tradition, especially if it doesn't harm anybody. And I remember hanging Christmas tree. Outside. I remember, decorating around the windows. What's wrong with that? It when it's cold and you ain't got nothing to do, the park's frozen over, you go out and watch and look at the Christmas lights. I'm every year there's several places that do Christmas lights, and I'm thinking, why not? What is the harm in it? Well, it uses some electricity. Yeah, so shut something else off. But to the point, though, it's like, okay, but that's an excuse to go out and walk through a winter wonderland and look at Christmas lights. Ooh, outside activity, bundle up, what's wrong with that? But again, I say, could that just be an excuse? Now, that doesn't cost anything except for the people who put it up in the electricity. But sometimes there's a donation box or whatever for people who light up their house and everything, and you go by. Okay. With that said, though, is this really an excuse for everyone to purchase things? Now, I've noticed that people will buy for someone else, but if it's a good deal, then they get one too, or similar. Buy one get one free. Buy two get one half price. You've seen the deals, and between now and Christmas time, they're going to go back cray cray. But is that an excuse? Are we being coerced into feeling guilty? Now it's like if you've got three daughters and your mama and you and I you're the mama, not yo mama, but anyway, you got the card and you got $800 on the card. You say, well, girls, here we go. Now you got a job and you got a house and you're paying for your card and everything, but you got $800. Ooh, I got credit. For what? You're gonna and I've done this. You spend the rest of the year paying for the stuff. Literally a whole year. They get to take their excise tax out and their fee charges, and I don't care well, it's free. No, nothing is free in this world. Somebody's getting something out of this deal. And it's an excuse. Now, why do we need this excuse? Why don't we just say, you know what? That's on sale. I got a cousin who would like that. Now, Bessie, my adopted mother, when they traveled on the carnival during the summertime, they would come through South Georgia, Alabama, Florida. They traveled around. That was the deal. And so in some of these towns, they would have, summer sales, with winter clothes coming in, back to school sales. And back then, there were a lot of there were a lot of sewing factories around here. And so there were a lot of seconds. There might be the stitch was just a little off, but the shirt was just fine. It had a crooked stitch, or it was double seamed. There are a lot of reasons for it to be a second and brand new, but you could buy a 10 pack of t-shirts for $10, $1 a t-shirt, sometimes even cheaper than that. And depending on where you went, the outlet store, so Bessie would buy up stuff during the summertime for presents in the winter. So there wasn't, she was like, why should I, no, she bought Christmas presents in the middle of summer. Now, I got to say, there were some times I just thought she was nuts. But at the same time, she was planning rather than go into debt, and they didn't have credit like they do now. She bought things all year round and stuck them up. Oh, David liked that. Ooh, Leonard liked that. Ooh, Danny would like that. Or Grandma would like that. Ooh, ooh, ooh. And stick it up in the closet. And there were times she said, no, don't you go up there in the closet. Well, why? Because I said so. Well, what's up there? Now, David or whoever, don't go in the closet or, don't look. Okay. Just, all right. And of course, we peeked anyway, but sometimes we were wrong, but she would play those ploys too. But see, that was like Christmas time. She would pull these things out that had been stuffed in a drawer, brand new packages, brand new shirts or whatever. But anyway, to the point though, it was an excuse for her to bring them out. And here, you needed socks, you needed underwear. So all these were practical things. And it was like an excuse to give you new socks. Okay, that's fine. But my point, it goes back to the excuse. I needed socks 6 months ago. You could have gave me some of them socks during the summer. Well, they wait till winter time and you get new socks. Okay. Some of this is crazy. Some of this is dumb. But in watching the ads flip by, everything is buy now, buy. And I'm like, buy, so you can die. Yeah, I know it's all, yeah, we know it's commercialized, and yeah, we know, but I was hoping that some of these folks, friends of mine and relatives, would have a little more common sense this year. Nope. I think they're crazier than ever. And I'm like, it's your money, it's your life, it's your thing, but can you honestly afford that? Well, I got my credit card. Yeah, that's just supposed to pay back. Well, I have had relatives in the past, a couple of them have passed, that just, they died with thousands of dollars worth of debt, charged off. Well, they, move over here and get another, how they get another credit card when I had, excellent credit at one time. And now I own my own house. I own my own vehicles. I don't owe anyone except the tax office and, lights and electricity, so forth. But it's like, I can't get a $500 credit. What? I own 18 and a half acres and a house, and okay, it's not worth a lot to some folk. It's a hell of a lot to me. It's paid for. But to the point, from a credit application, you own your house, yes. You're retired, yes. You have a steady income, yes. Your vehicle's paid for, yes. Oh, I'm sorry, your credit's no good. I thought stability was what you wanted. I'm not asking for a $10,000 loan. I want to get my teeth pulled, and I need $500. Um, Sorry, you no. We think you're a risk. And I'm like, all righty then. You don't trust the government to send me my check every month. Or you don't think that, anyway. But to the point though, it's like, well, what's your excuse? Well, I'm not into this kind of thing. What I have tried, here they send you the credit card applications, even from my own bank, and they go, "Oh, oh, we're sorry we sent that to you." But then they'll send another one in 2 weeks in the mail. It's bizarre. I think it's their excuse to spend money. Advertisement. I don't get it. There's so much money wasted in so many ways. And people say, well, I don't know if we could have Medicare for all. Oh, yes, stupid, we could. Add a penny or two tax on stuff and send it in. All this time of year, 2 or 3 cents on a penny on every dollar spent during Christmas. You don't think we couldn't raise enough money to have Medicare for at least for folks under 20 that make less than $20,000 a year, at least, you know. Um, no. Oh, you got to buy stuff because that's your excuse to make you feel good. Don't you give your daughter stuff all the time? Mama, I need a something. Yeah, okay, you buy it. No, maybe they really need it, but there's a lot of one in there. I want this, Mama. Can you get it for okie dokie? And it's like, all right. Are you planning for the future or are you using this as an excuse? Buy now, die later, because it's going to kill you. Oh, well, I got to pay off my credit card bill. So you have a little bit of happiness now to buy, so that you can die for the rest of the year next year to pay off ooh, I'm sorry. I've done it. I'm guilty, but not for a while. Well, I can't afford it. I don't have credit cards, but I realized that that was just stupid to begin with. Even when I could afford it, it was stupid. If anybody had the right idea, it was Bessie, who bought things all year long and then gave them to you at Christmas time. That made more sense. But again, I say there were times when holes in the underwear, it'd have been nice to have a pair of them, them track shorts before Christmas time, But anyway, and she washed our clothes. So, but, she knew the condition of our underwear. Well, gotta wait till Christmas. Okay, being frugal there. But to the point, though, it's the amount of ads everywhere. I don't see how they could be putting more ads out there, but it just seems like it's bam, it's hitting me. And I can't look, and it's not that I'm trying to be a Grinch, not at all. But I'm saying that people are using this as an excuse to be excessive, an excuse to feel rich. Well, I got 500 on a credit card. Come on, girls, let's go. Let's go feel rich for a couple of weeks. Let's go feel proud of ourselves so we can die the next year so I got to pay that off with interest. And you never know what the next day is going to bring. So you're doing all these things without knowing what tomorrow is. And so what if you could use some of that money for that car crash or something, or the house? Uh, nope. It's my money. I can do with it what I want. I've got credit now. So now I'm going to, okay. But don't use Christmas as the excuse. Call it what it is. It's Xmas. X marks the spot. X in this means the dollar sign. X is them wanting your cash. Yours to do what you want. But if you can't see that you're being controlled, if you seriously say, well, this really isn't affected me, I'm calling you bananas. I'm sorry. If you can't see what they're doing to you and the hype, are these people like really mental? And some of these folks are my relatives. I'm like, something happened in the gene pool that you got. And it's not about, I've been invited to go to Tampa and visit with the family and stay for a few days. But I can't go with an armload of gifts or anything. I'm paying for the gas down and back. But that's okay. And it's lovely. My sister wants to help with the gas money. She wants to bring me back home after the holidays. What a beautiful gesture. I haven't seen my family in years. And it's like that, okay. But it's not about receiving anything other than the trip and being around family during the holiday. I'm not, I hope they don't expect anything from me. I don't have anything to give but me, but I'll give hugs all around and we'll sit and chat and make merry as much as we can. But to the idea of that, well, um, I can't be Santa Claus, and they understand that. So what's wrong with that? Nothing. My sister saved up the money, and she wanted to bring family down to Florida for Christmas, and I was the one available. So, but just to be around for the holidays, to visit, have dinner, and to be thankful. Time for family. Now, that's a present. That's a reason to save your money for. That's a reason I would, give up something to have gas money to go visit my family that I haven't seen in years. That's a good idea. Is it an excuse? Sure. It's an excuse to go visit my family. Sure. Why didn't I go in July? Well, nobody offered, and it was way too hot. I'd much rather just stick around the house. But to the point, though, it's like, but I'm not being drawn into buying anything. Would just like to be around family after, I don't know, 8 or 10 years of not visiting. It'd be nice to visit. So it's the holidays. It's because everybody has some time off, and it is cooler. I'm up for that. So be honest with yourself, uh, uh, and I know you folks. If you're going to watch this, you're going to be honest. You're going to see what the rigmarole is all about and what the hubbub is. But people are just getting sucked into this vortex. Maybe it's their last stand. Buy now, die later. Maybe they're thinking, "What the hell? I'm gonna, I'm gonna max out my cards because I don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow, and I'd rather just have one hell of a good time before we go out." Now, there's some, I gotta say, there's a little bit of logic in that, but it's a little bit like you're not. What if, what if you survive on the other side and you could use that $800 to something else? Now, I gotta say, I've had family many years ago when I got into trouble, sent me some money to help pay my land tax so they didn't sell my property. I am so grateful for that. And they did help me out. Now, I hope they didn't put it on their credit card, but they kept me from losing my land. And it's tax time again. That's my Christmas present every year. $350 worth of taxes. Ooh, Merry Christmas, Dave. It's okay. It's what it is. You got to pay the man, but takes me all year long to save up this much money. Only problem is it has to come out of one check. Um, but that's the burden of living anywhere anymore is death and taxes. So, but my point to this is that it's even an excuse for me to buy some eggnog. I love eggnog. I'm, they just don't sell it in the summertime. So when my chickens were laying, I made my own eggnog. Yum, yum. Good way to have some protein. And there's just something about it. But let's call it what it is. Be sure you understand, well, I need this. Do you? I don't care if you buy it. It's not my decision. But in your own brain, understand that before you buy something, are you being coerced in by the Xmas? Is Xmas got a hold of you? Is Xmas the demon in disguise in Christmas? Now think that one. Who started the Xmas? Well, what's short for Christmas? Really? Strange that it's a cross or an X on its side, but well, well, what about symbology? Who? Nothing to it, right? Yeah, wink, wink, nod, nod. I'm a lumberjack and I don't. I love to press wildflowers. I'm sorry, I saw a video earlier where Monty Python was doing the "I'm a Lumberjack" song, and it just it's always humorous to me. But anyway, um, for the right or wrong reason, whatever it is, Merry Christmas, everybody. But I think that if we could just understand that we are being drawn into it. If you want to use it for an excuse to drink eggnog with whiskey, okay, that's all right. But don't go, well, I only do this once a year. Okay, it's your excuse. You're allowed, it's your choice. But do you have to make a fool of yourself? Well, I used to, Christmas time parties. Oh, stumbled home drunk. Many times I've wondered how the hell I got home after all that I drank at a Christmas party. And so and the depression. Oh, I shouldn't have spent that money. Ding. Buy now, die later. Oh my God, I spent, oh, but we had a good time. That's the excuse. Come January, everybody's like piss poor broke. Oh, but we had a good time. The X and Xmas. If I'm going to refer to Xmas, it's going to refer to a non-traditional, but well, actually, it has become a tradition. It's become a tradition in my lifetime, in the last 50 years, especially. But this has been going on for 100 years. I mean, New York, what a beautiful town. I mean, all those Christmas songs, a lot of them are 100 years old, so they're not newbies. So folks have been doing this for a long time. But now with the internet and this and the Amazonian, oh my God, warriors with swords and shields, deliver straight to your door. And now with an access code, they can put it in your house. Oh, lovely. We now have apps for Christmas. Ooh, we can track Santa Claus and how much money Santa Claus is spending on his new sleigh this year, because the elves are servants of the red demon. Oh my God. Oh my God. And they're all working hard in their little slave shops, making toys for little girls and boys. Those are the kids in Polynesia, Malaysia, China. Ooh, sweatshops. Yes. Merry Christmas, everybody. It's an excuse to buy. And I want to go back to tradition. Okay, so they got a good sale on something. Am I going to be a hypocrite and say I'm not going to take advantage of a sale during Christmas? No, I'm not. If there's a sale and I got money and I need it, gonna get it because it's on sale, not because it's Christmas time. And people are going to, well, see, that's your excuse, Hawkeye. You bought that during the holiday. Yeah, because it was on sale and I waited. I've been saving money up and, I got $50 now. And if that thing comes anywhere near $50, I'm going to buy it. I've been wanting to buy one, but I could use it desperately for around the house here. Okie dokie. But I know what I'm doing. Oh, you're using it an excuse. You do it too. Yeah, I make $1,000 a month. I don't get credit anymore, and thank God I don't have to pay rent, but taxes are due. Oh, yeah, I got loads of money, and I'm going to take a lot of advantage of this Christmas season to tell people, why do you want to buy and then die? Why do you want to go there? Are you buying because you need something and it's on sale? And you've been waiting until Christmas time for a sale? Okie dokie. If you've got it, it's your choice. But please don't lie to the rest of us. Well, it's because, and your excuse is it's Xmas time. It's not Christmas. Because if you believed in Christmas, the $800 you just spent on clothes for your girls and yourself, well, it's Christmas. Oh, it was on sale. I thought I'd get one too. Okie dokie. But then you drive by people who have zero and you're a Christian. Well, but it's my money. Yes, it is. Could you help some homeless folks? Could you help sponsor someone? Nope. Oh, well, we needed more clothes. Okay, did you clean out your closet first and give it to the poor and then go buy stuff? And you say, well, I gave everything in my closet away. I'm going to go buy some new stuff. It's Christmas time. I know people who've done that and who still do it, but not like it used to be. During Christmas time, clean out the closet. Keep one or two items, everything. But so keep that in mind. You're being duped. You're being mind warped. And for folks who say, oh, no, it's just Christmas time, that's the excuse. But put the X in it. If you're going to go spend money and you're going to buy, and then die, use the X. Don't put Christ in it, please. If you want Christmas, then be giving. And I don't mean have to go to the store. Help someone. Does a relative need a new t-shirt? Does a relative need a new pot? Does a relative need a blah, 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 blah? I'm just asking, or are you buying something because you feel guilty? You want to feel proud of yourself, or whatever it is? The excuse, there's an X in excuse, is also the X in Xmas. Separate the two. I want to keep Christ in Christmas. Therefore, if I find someone who's more needy than me, which is hard to find, no, I mean, I got it. I got it. I got it. I got it. It really isn't about me. Yes, there are people more needy than me. I'm lucky in that I have a house and the few things that I do. But Christmas time, anytime, it's just cold outside, baby. I'll still give something away. Never think twice about it. Thank you. This goes to them. I hope it did some good. Is that what Christmas should be again? We give hope to people, that we give ourselves in some kind of way, not just in some kind of X factor, money factor. The excuse, Xmas is the excuse to feel wealthy when you're not, to feel superhuman. Oh, I'm giving these things to all of these people. And I know some people who cannot afford it. And they're like, well, you know what? They're my cousin and my aunt and my daughter and my niece and my nephew and my daga. And I'm like, honey, you get a little bit more each month than I do, but not much. I can't afford to buy a present for myself. How are you going to afford all that? Well, I got a credit card. You're going to buy or die. Okay. Limited income, but you're going to ring that credit card up. Lord have mercy. So I'm extending prayers out to all of those who are going to be sucked in by the Xmas. And I'm going to pray that they go back to the Christmas. If there really was such a thing, let's put Christ back into it. Let's let the giving be of something of value, worthwhile, and from the heart, not just because it's an excuse. Thank you for your time. I love you all. Stay well. Melanie, good to see you. You don't do Xmas? Yeah, it appalls me. It appalls me as well, Melanie. But here's the ticket. Folks are just getting sucked in. I mean, it's the people who talk about, oh, I'm not being mind controlled. Oh my God. Oh my God. Some of these people have never went to a Black Friday, are now participating. And I'm like, don't you have more sense than that? Please, you're my relative. Oh, you're friends of mine. What are you doing? Okie dokie. It's free choice. And, I'm glad I'm not caught up in that. But, I want to do Christmas with Christ. I want that idea. I love singing carols. I love the whole sleigh bell jingle jingle. I love that part of it. The rest of it, okie dokie. Good time to buy socks and flannel shirts, though. Just saying. And I could use a new pair of long johns, but and you can't get those in the summertime easily. So, but with that said, I love you all. Take care of yourself. Just a little bit of a rant today because, baby, it's cold outside and misty, rainy, and yucky. And it's just like, well, there ain't even any sunshine to heat up the house. Dang it. So got to go out and scrounge for some firewood and feed the chickens and do my chores. But stay safe, everybody. Just keep it in mind. Buy or die. It's your choice. God gave us all a free will. And right now it's like I don't think some of these people actually understand they're not exercising a free will. They're being sucked into something they don't have a clue about. And every year, but this year, I don't know what it is. Okie dokie. Maybe it's the extra apps. Maybe it's all the flashing lights on their computer screens and iPhones and stuff. I don't know, but some of these folks are just already, and it's just the Monday after Thanksgiving. Oh God, we got a month of this shit to go. I know I probably sound like Scrooge. Ah, bah humbug, Christmas, bah humbug. Well, it's one thing to buy a turkey for a starving family. It's another to try to send don't get me started. I love you all and prayers, and I'll leave with the usual prayer. I always hope and pray that every one of you, your friends, your family, your neighbors, your relatives, and all of your relations, that you will accept and receive the healing, the knowledge, and the wisdom from the universe. It's always there. It's always with source, with creator. It's there all the time. Keep your spirituality side with you. Try to keep it intact with all the craziness. So with that, I say, love y'all. Be safe, stay warm, and try to feed and keep somebody else warm this winter. That's probably the best present you could ever give. So with that, Melanie and anybody and everybody else, I love you. Stay safe. It's gonna get crazier out there. We've just begun with the Xmas. Bye, y'all.